There is a moment every trader knows well. A clean setup appears. The strategy says yes. The rules line up. The chart looks clear. Still, something tightens in the chest. The hands hesitate. The mind begins to race. It feels like a warning, but no real danger exists. It is only a trade. Yet the body behaves as if it is standing on the edge of a cliff. This is the moment when panic creeps in, even though everything on the screen tells you that you are prepared. Many traders think panic comes from a lack of knowledge. Yet some of the most educated traders still freeze. They have read every book. They have backtested every setup. They know their win rate. Still, they feel that sudden rise of tension. The fear does not come from the chart. It comes from a deeper place that the strategy alone cannot reach. Your mind might trust your plan. Your emotions do not. This conflict creates an inner battle. Logic pushes you to act. Emotion pulls you away. The heart begins to beat faster. The breath feels shallow. Every part of the body tries to protect you from a possibility that does not even exist yet. The market has not moved. Nothing has gone wrong. Still, your system reacts as if the worst case is already happening. This is the quiet truth behind panic in trading. It is not about the trade. It is not about the strategy. It is about your relationship with uncertainty. When the mind demands control but the market offers none, panic becomes the body's attempt to take that control back. You are not fighting the setup. You are fighting the part of yourself that refuses to feel vulnerable. And so the journey continues as we look deeper into where these emotional triggers truly begin. The emotional triggers you do not notice. Long before panic shows up during a trade, it begins with small emotional triggers that slip under your awareness. These triggers build quietly until they shape the way you react to the market. Many traders mistake them for simple hesitation or overthinking. In reality, they are signals from old experiences that your mind has never fully released. One of the most common triggers is the memory of a painful loss. The moment you see a setup that reminds you of that past event, your body reacts before your logic has a chance to speak. You feel tension even when the chart is clean. You feel doubt even when the rules make sense. Your nervous system remembers what your conscious mind tries to forget. Another trigger comes from the pressure to perform. You want the trade to work. You want this to be the moment that proves you are improving. The desire for proof creates fear. You begin to focus on what might go wrong instead of what is actually happening on the chart. This pressure builds quietly until it becomes physical discomfort. Some traders carry emotional triggers from outside trading. A stressful day, a financial worry, or even a personal expectation can follow them into the charts. The market becomes a stage where they try to fix deeper issues. When the trade does not instantly offer relief, the body reacts with anxiety. The panic feels like it comes from the market, but its seed was planted long before the setup appeared. James once noticed this in himself during a week of trading. Nothing was wrong with his strategy. His entries were clear. His risk was planned. Yet every time he hovered over the buy button, he felt a rise of pressure. He later realized it had nothing to do with the charts. It came from a conversation earlier that morning that made him feel judged. His body carried that judgment into the market. These hidden triggers shape your responses. They condition you to expect danger where none exists. And once they take hold, they lead you to the next emotional trap that steals clarity and fuels impulsive behavior. As the mind tries to protect you from imagined loss, another silent force begins to rise, waiting for its moment to take control. FOMO, the silent saboteur in your mind. There is a specific kind of pressure that traders rarely admit. It is the fear of being left behind. The market moves, and something inside you feels pulled toward it, almost like a rope tightening across your chest. You do not want to miss the opportunity. You do not want to watch the trade run without you. This fear of missing out is powerful because it does not feel like fear at first. It feels like urgency. Urgency tells you that you must act now. It tells you that waiting is dangerous. It tells you that discipline will cost you money. This emotional voice grows stronger the more you care about your results. It pushes you into trades that do not match your plan. It blinds you to the risk. It makes an average setup look perfect. Then, when the market turns, the same urgency becomes panic. The truth is that FOMO comes from identity. When you tie your identity to being right, every move the market makes feels personal. A missed trade feels like a failure. A winning candle without you feels like an insult. The market is not attacking you, but your mind reads it that way. You begin to believe that each missed moment defines your value as a trader. This emotional attachment creates a cycle. You fear missing out, so you rush in. The rush decision leads to a bad entry. The bad entry leads to anxiety. The anxiety creates panic. Panic leads to mistakes. And the mistakes feed the same fear that started the cycle. James experienced this during a strong, trending week. He watched price move quickly without him and felt a rising pressure in his stomach. His strategy required patience, yet every candle felt like a warning that he was falling behind. When he finally entered out of emotion, the trend corrected and he was caught in a losing position. It was never about the chart. It was about the fear that he would miss the moment that proved he was improving. FOMO is not a flaw in your strategy. It is a flaw in your emotional relationship with opportunity. The market will always move. It will always create moments you do not catch. Peace comes when you accept that missing a move is not the same as losing. Yet even when you understand this, another struggle rises. It is the battle with uncertainty itself, the core reason panic survives even in traders who know better. Anxiety and the battle with uncertainty. At the center of every trading decision lies one truth. You never know what will happen next. This reality creates a level of uncertainty that the human mind is not naturally built to handle. The brain wants clear outcomes. It wants control. It wants guarantees. Trading offers none of these. So the body reacts with anxiety, even when the strategy is sound. Anxiety is the signal your system sends when it feels exposed. A setup may be clean, yet your mind imagines everything that could go wrong. Price could reverse. News could drop. Volatility could rise. Your confidence begins to shake, not because the chart is dangerous, but because uncertainty activates a primal survival response. You feel tension because the mind cannot lock onto a single safe outcome. This is why panic shows up even when the plan is correct. Your strategy may remove confusion, but it cannot remove uncertainty. The best trading systems in the world only give you a higher probability. They cannot give you certainty. The emotional brain does not like this. It wants protection, not probability. James faced this lesson during a long period of refinement in his trading. He learned that no matter how much he improved his entries, a part of him still reacted to uncertainty. His breathing changed when he clicked into a trade. His thoughts sped up. His hands felt tense. He realized that the market was not the threat. The threat was the loss of control. Once he saw this clearly, he understood why discipline alone was not enough. He needed emotional awareness. Anxiety also grows when you try to predict outcomes instead of following your process. You start imagining profits before the trade plays out. You picture the win. You picture the loss. Your mind jumps between both extremes. The more you try to control the future, the more the present moment feels unstable. Panic rises because your attention is focused on something you cannot influence. True stability in trading comes from accepting uncertainty, not fighting it. When you stop demanding guarantees, your nervous system stops feeling threatened. You still feel alert, but not afraid. You remain aware, but not overwhelmed. You allow the trade to unfold without forcing the market to match your expectations. And this brings you closer to the calm path that separates emotional traders from consistent ones, the path that turns uncertainty from a threat into a space where clarity can actually grow. The calm path forward. Every trader reaches a point where they realize that the real battle is not with the market. It is with themselves. Panic is not a sign of weakness. It is a message. It tells you that your mind is trying to protect you from uncertainty, from judgment, and from the fear of repeating past mistakes. When you begin to understand this message, everything about the way you approach trading starts to shift. The calm you are searching for does not come from the chart. It comes from awareness. When you recognize your emotional triggers, they lose their power. When you understand your fear of missing out, it no longer controls your decisions. When you accept that uncertainty is part of the game, panic fades because the mind stops trying to fight what it cannot change. Consistency grows when you detach your identity from each trade. You are not defined by a win. You are not diminished by a loss. You are a participant in a process that unfolds over hundreds of trades, not a single moment. The more you embrace this truth, the more the noise inside you begins to settle. James discovered this during a quiet evening review. He looked at his journal and realized that his best trades came when he was calm, patient, and emotionally present. Not when he felt pressure, not when he tried to chase a move, not when he tried to control uncertainty. His progress came when he accepted that the market would never be predictable, yet he could still be steady within it. The moral is simple. Panic fades when awareness rises. Clarity grows when you stop fighting uncertainty and start working with it. And true confidence appears when you trust your process more than your fear. If this message reaches you at the right moment, let it remind you that your strategy might already be good enough. It is your emotional foundation that needs attention. Build that foundation and the market will feel less like a threat and more like a space where your discipline can finally breathe. If this helped you understand yourself as a trader, make sure you like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe so you continue to grow with content that strengthens both your mindset and your skill. If you are ready to rebuild your trading journey with clarity, patience, and emotional strength, then watch this video. Stop quitting your job for Forex. The trading psychology you need to master first. It will guide you toward the mindset that turns chaos into consistency.